Mr. Young is our English teacher. He visits our school on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. He is from Canada and came to Yokohama 4 years ago. There are 5 people in his family. His parents and his sister live in Canada. His sister is a college student, and his brother is a vet in Los Angeles. Mr. Young speaks Japanese well. He can read and write hiragana and katakana, but it is not easy for him to read and write kanji. He is learning kanji every day because he wants to read Japanese books. Mr. Young's class is very interesting. All of the students like his class. He teaches us English through many kinds of games and English songs. He sometimes tells us about Canada. I enjoy his stories, and now I'm interested in the country. I want to visit Canada someday and see the life and culture by my own eyes. Hi everyone! I'd like to talk about this cup. It's a present from my host family in America. Last July, I went to New York to study English and did a homestay for 1 week at Mr. and Mrs. Brown's house. I really enjoyed helping them with housework, such as cooking and washing their car. But I had a difficult time at meals. When I tried to explain even one thing, it always took a long time to do it. I felt sorry because they often stopped eating and waited until I finished talking. On the last day of my stay, Mrs. Brown said to me, "I know you aren't happy with your English now, but I'm sure you'll be a good English speaker someday." Then she gave me this cup. I found a message written on it. Don't give up. Keep trying. I was moved. This is my treasure, and it gives me a lot of energy. Thank you.
Yoko and her family arrived in Canada on December 27th last year. On New Year's Eve, she had a wonderful dinner at their new home in Canada. Her father took some pictures of the family with his camera. All of them had fun, but she missed her friends in Hokkaido. Then, on January 3rd, she went shopping with her family to buy some chocolates for her friends in Hokkaido. The next day, she wrote letters to her friends and sent them with the presents. A week later, Mika, one of her best friends, called Yoko. Mika said she got the letter and the present from Yoko. Mika also said that she missed Yoko very much. Yoko was very happy because she could talk with Mika on the phone and found both of them had the same feeling.
Who makes your lunch every day? Your mother? Your father? You? In my family, my father makes my lunch. My parents are very busy with work, and they share the housework. My father usually gets up early in the morning to make my lunch. When I leave home, he always smiles and gives me my lunch. When I eat it, I remember his smile. Do you remember the home economics homework for the summer vacation? We had to make our own lunch. It was very hard, and I needed a lot of time. Now I understand that my father works hard to make my lunch every day. When my father comes home from work, I always smile and say to him, "Thank you for making my lunch." I love the lunch he makes for me every day. I think everyone has some favorite words. My favorite words are good morning. Do you say good morning to anyone every day? When I was little, I couldn't say good morning to people I didn't know. But a woman changed me. I met her after I started to go to school. Every morning, I saw an old woman on the way to school. She worked at a flower shop near my school. She always said to me, "Good morning." She looked very kind, and I liked her. I wanted to say to her, "Good morning," but I could not. One morning, at last, I did. At that time, she smiled, and her smile made me happy. She looked happy, too. After that day, I said to her, "Good morning," every morning. I also started to say these words to other people. I think the words "good morning" make people happy like me. Let's say good morning to someone tomorrow.
This summer, my friends and I went to a 3-day event in my small town. It was planned by university students for junior high school students. Many junior high school students from other towns joined too. The university students helped us with our studies. We also played soccer and baseball with them. Through these activities, we made a lot of new friends. People in my town helped with the event. They offered places for the activities. They also cooked meals for us and the university students. Some elderly people told us about the town's history. It was very interesting. During those 3 days, people in my town looked very happy. This event was a good chance for us to make new friends and learn a lot from elderly people. I hope this event will be held again next year. Thanks to the university students, I had a good time this summer. I want to plan events for my town in the future. That's my dream. Jun is a junior high school student. One day during summer vacation, he was walking near the station. Then, a woman spoke to him in English. "Excuse me, but which bus should I take to go to Center Hotel?" "Okay, you should take number 3 bus. The bus stop is over there. I'll take you," he answered. He took her to the bus stop. The woman said to Jun, "Thank you." He felt so good. School started in September. In the first English class, Jun's teacher said, "I'll introduce our new ALT to you. Ms. Young, please come in." A woman came into the classroom. Jun was surprised because she was the woman he helped near the station. After class, Jun went to Ms. Young and said, "Hi, Ms. Young, do you remember me?" She looked at his face and said, "Oh, you helped me last month. You're a student in this school." "Yes." Jun was happy because she remembered him. "Now it's my turn. I'll help you. Let's study and enjoy English together," she said. "Of course," Jun answered. He felt so good again.
One day, I visited my friend Rika. I saw 4 baby dogs in Rika's living room. After I came home, I told my brother Shun about the baby dogs. He wanted to see the dogs. Then I took him to Rika's house the next day. When Rika showed Shun the baby dogs, he liked them very much. Rika said to us, "I can give you one of them." After we came home, Shun told my parents about the dogs. He said, "Can we get one of them?" My father said, "Taking care of a dog isn't easy. Can you do it?" Shun answered, "Yes, Dad." I said, "I'll take care of the dog with Shun. Let's get the dog." "All right," said my father. Then we went back to Rika's house and brought one of the baby dogs home. Shun said, "Let's call this dog Kudo because he is black." We all agreed. In this way, Kudo became a member of our family. Shun and I give Kudo food and walk him every day. He likes playing with us. Living with Kudo is very nice. Last summer, I stayed with the Aoki family in Japan for a week. One day, Mrs. Aoki showed me a beautiful cloth. I asked her, "Is it a big handkerchief?" She said, "No, this is furoshiki." Then she showed me some examples wrapped with furoshiki. I was surprised to know some ways to wrap things with furoshiki. I said to her, "Can you teach me how to wrap things with furoshiki?" "Sure," she said. I practiced wrapping things with furoshiki. It was not easy, but I enjoyed wrapping things such as bottles. She said, "I don't see many people using furoshiki today. It is old-fashioned, but I think it is still useful. Carrying furoshiki is easy because we can fold it like a handkerchief. Using furoshiki is also good for the environment. We don't have to use wrapping paper when we have furoshiki. So I often use it." I said, "That's great. And things wrapped with furoshiki are beautiful." "You really like furoshiki. I'll give you this," said Mrs. Aoki, and gave me her beautiful furoshiki. Now I sometimes use the furoshiki in my country. I hope more people will learn about furoshiki and use it.
We often use umbrellas when it is raining. But a long time ago, umbrellas were not used for rain. In ancient Egypt, only powerful people used umbrellas to block the strong light of the sun. They were different from the umbrellas we use today. At that time, umbrellas were always open. In the 13th century, people in Europe made a new kind of umbrella. It was the umbrella which people could open and close. In the 18th century, women in Europe started to use umbrellas in the rain, but men didn't. Men used caps or hats on a rainy day. Later, a man in London began to use an umbrella in the rain. At that time, only women were using umbrellas while it was raining, so people thought that the man was strange. About 30 years later, other men began to use umbrellas in the rain like him. Today, there are many kinds of umbrellas, and many people buy plastic umbrellas in Japan. They sell well because they are cheap. People buy about 130 million umbrellas in Japan every year. But many umbrellas are left on buses, on trains, and in some other places. That is a problem. For example, about 380,000 umbrellas were left in Tokyo in 2010, but only about 2,000 people came to get them. So we can say that umbrellas are popular, but we have to be careful when we use them. The Earth is called a water planet. There is a lot of water on the Earth, but we can't use most of the water. Do you know the reason for this? Most water on the Earth is salt water. Japan has a lot of rain. As you know, the rainwater goes into a river. Most rivers in Japan are short and sharp, and the water goes fast into the sea. So we need to control the rivers to use that water, but it is very difficult and we can't use it well. Then why do we feel that there is enough water in Japan? One of the reasons is that we get a lot of food from foreign countries. To grow such food, they use much water. We can say that we get that water from them too. We don't have to use that amount of water for growing food. So we feel that we have enough water in Japan. People around the world have had problems with water in many rivers. Some countries take water from the same river. If one country uses too much water from the river, the other countries can't get enough water for their everyday lives. They fight to take the water. People living around the rivers have to share water, but they are rivals. A long time ago, the meaning of rival was a person disputing the water in a river. The UN says that the number of people in the world will increase, and in 2025, about 2/3 of the people in the world may not have enough water. Now, some companies are trying to make drinking water from salt water. If they can do this, no country in the world will have rivals.
When we cut wood with a saw, we usually find something. It is called sawdust. Most of us think of it as waste, but some children use it as a bed for beetles. This is not the only way to use sawdust. About 1,500 years ago, people didn't have any machines to keep ice, but they could use and eat it in summer. How did they do that? In Japan, people carried ice from a pond to a special house in winter. In this house, people put a lot of sawdust on the ice to keep it until summer. Sawdust is very useful because it can keep the low temperature, so the ice doesn't become water. Some people in Nikko still keep ice in this way. Sawdust is also used in another way. We can use sawdust for a toilet. We usually use water to clean it, but in some places it is difficult to do so. If the toilet is not clean, we will get sick easily. It is a problem, so we need this special toilet which doesn't use water. If we put sawdust in a toilet and exchange it only a few times a year, we can use a clean toilet all the time and live a healthy life. Sawdust is never waste. It really helps us. Something which looks like waste now will be something useful in the future. What will come after sawdust? It will make our life richer.
Kazuki is a junior high school student. In early July, he was looking for something to do during summer vacation. One day, he read about the Little Teacher program in the school newspaper. In the program, junior high school students help young children with their homework. He decided to join this program as a volunteer. On the first day of the program, Kazuki met a boy. His name was Ryo. He was in the 5th grade. After they talked about their favorite things, Ryo started answering arithmetic questions. About 10 minutes later, he asked Kazuki for help. Kazuki knew the answer and explained how to get it to Ryo. But Ryo couldn't understand. Kazuki thought he should change his way of teaching. At home, Kazuki tried to find a better way to teach Ryo, but he couldn't find it for a long time. Then he got an idea, to look at his arithmetic notebook that he used when he was in the 5th grade. When he looked at the notebook, he found it had a lot of figures which explained how to answer arithmetic questions. He thought, these kinds of figures helped me a lot then. So Ryo will need them to find the answer too. I should remember he's only 11 years old. Then Kazuki prepared for Ryo. On the next day, Kazuki taught Ryo with the figures. Ryo said, "I got the answer. These figures are great." Then Ryo answered more questions in the same way. Kazuki felt confident about teaching. He also began to enjoy teaching Ryo. At night, Kazuki opened his notebook again. On the last day, Ryo finished his homework. They were very happy. Then Ryo's mother came to Kazuki and said, "Thank you very much. He always said he liked your way of teaching. You helped him a lot." Kazuki was happy to hear that. The Little Teacher program was useful for him. A few days later, Kazuki got a letter from Ryo. "Dear Kazuki, I was happy to study with you. Thank you very much. You were the best teacher. See you again, Ryo." Yesterday, Keiko visited her grandfather and said to him, "Look, I got a new camera. It's digital. I joined the photo club and my parents bought it for me." "Oh, that's nice, Keiko," said her grandfather. Then she said, "Do you still use your old camera? You showed it to me before. It's not digital, right? You should buy a digital camera. Your old camera is too big, and also it looks difficult to use your camera." "I know, but," her grandfather said. Then he went into his room and brought his old camera. "This one, right?" he asked. Yes, it's very old, Keiko said. I know this is old, but I can still use it. Also, it is not just an object to me. I feel this is one of my family members, her grandfather said. She didn't understand his words. He looked at her for a while. Then he said, I'll show you something, and went back to his room again. Soon he came back with his old album. Keiko looked at many old pictures in it and found a lot of pictures of her father. He looked so young, and all the people in the album looked so happy. Keiko asked, Were these old pictures taken with this camera? He answered, Yes, I bought this camera when your father was born. He was our first child. So this camera is 40 years old, Keiko said. Our family spent a lot of time with this camera. We went to many places with it, and I have taken so many pictures, her grandfather said. I see. This camera is something special to you, Keiko said. Right. Some people think that new things are always better. I don't think that's true. I like new things too. But as you use things for a long time, they will be an important part of your life, said her grandfather. Keiko said, I understand now. Well, can I take your picture with your camera? You don't have many pictures of yourself, right? I think I can use your camera if you help me. Sure, thank you, Keiko, he answered. Say cheese. Okay, I hope you'll like the picture I took, she said. He looked really happy. She said to herself, I'll take good care of things and use them for a long time, just like him.
Last year, we went to Wakayama on a school trip. In Wakayama, we stayed at local people's houses. My friends and I stayed at Mr. and Mrs. Suzuki's house. Mr. Suzuki is a fisherman, and Mrs. Suzuki helps him. On the first day, Mr. Suzuki showed us a tuna farm. He said, raising tuna is very difficult. Researchers have tried to raise tuna, and people in this town have helped them. I have helped them too. A lot of people worked together, so we can raise tuna on this farm now. After talking with him, I looked into the tuna farm. I couldn't see the tuna. Mr. Suzuki told us to feed the tuna, so we threw some little fish to the tuna. A big tuna came. I was surprised to see that. That night, we made dinner with Mrs. Suzuki. I cooked fish. These were my first experiences in Wakayama. The next day, my friends and I visited an interesting place. We swam with dolphins there. Before swimming with dolphins, a dolphin trainer told us some important things. The trainer said, dolphins are delicate animals. You have to be their friend first. When I went into the sea, one dolphin came. It was beautiful, and I was excited. The trainer said, now the dolphin wants to swim with you. I grabbed the dolphin, and the dolphin started to swim. The dolphin swam very fast. I had a lot of fun. Our school trip was very short, but I enjoyed staying in Wakayama. I worried about the homestay before visiting Wakayama, but Mr. and Mrs. Suzuki were very kind, and they made me happy. I had good experiences during this school trip. We can always search for tuna and dolphins on the internet, but it's more moving to see them with our own eyes. We can learn a lot from experiences, so we should have a lot of experiences. I'll remember this school trip and visit Wakayama again. Last Sunday, my father and I went to the Toyama Cultural Festival of Junior High Schools. There were many junior high school students and some high school students. They wore their school uniforms. My father said to me, Ayako, can you find your friends among these students? I can easily find high school students because they wear different school uniforms, but I can't see the differences in school uniforms among junior high schools. I answered, "It is easy for me to find my school friends. School uniforms of junior high schools are not the same. There are a lot of small differences. For example, you can see many kinds of scarves." My father was surprised. At the festival, I met Jennifer, our ALT from America. She said to me, "Hi, Ayako. There are a lot of students from our school. They wear our school's uniform, so I can find them easily. I like it very much." I asked her, "What do you think of school uniforms in Japan?" She said, "I think they are very good. When I was a student in America, I didn't have school uniform. Every day I had to choose my clothes, so I was sometimes late for school. I think Japanese students are lucky. First, you don't have to worry about the clothes when you go to school. Second, you can wear them for many years because they are very strong and don't tear easily. Third, they are formal clothes, so you can wear them on special occasions." When I came home, I looked for the word uniform in the dictionary. The part uni means one, and form means type. Uniform is the special clothes which all the members of one group wear. So we feel a sense of unity when we wear our school's uniform. For example, soccer fans often wear their favorite team's uniforms when they go to watch the games of the team. I think they want to be a member of the team. I love my school uniform very much. It is the special clothes I wear in my school days. Soon I will say goodbye to this uniform. I feel a little sad, but I am looking forward to wearing a new school uniform.
One of my best friends in my class is 70 years old. His name is Mr. Yamada. He worked at a factory. He retired from his job and became a student at our high school last April. He studies hard and asks many questions in class. He also cleans our classroom very well every day. At first, I thought, I don't come to school to clean. Why does Mr. Yamada clean our classroom so well? So I asked him, "Is cleaning fun for you?" He said, "No, I'm just doing the thing I can do." I couldn't understand his words, but I was interested in him. After that, Mr. Yamada and I sometimes talked. When we talked, he told me a lot of things I didn't know. He was like a teacher to me. One day I said to him, "I am working at a restaurant to become a cook, but I can't learn how to cook. I have to do the dishes and clean the restaurant every day. I want to stop going to my job." He listened to me and said, "When I was working, I also had to clean the factory every day. We worked safely and efficiently in the clean factory. Why do you have to do the dishes and clean the restaurant? Have you ever thought about that? If you do those tasks well, you will find your answer. Don't give up your job." I knew those tasks were necessary for the restaurant, but I couldn't understand why I had to do them to become a cook. I continued my job to find my answer. One Sunday, a family came to the restaurant to have dinner. After dinner, one of the family members said to me, "This is our favorite restaurant. You serve a lot of good food. It is always nice and clean here, so the food tastes better. We can enjoy eating the food. Thank you." When I heard this, I thought, I don't cook, but I am helping people to enjoy their food. Doing the dishes and cleaning are as important as cooking. I will do the things I can do to become a cook. I finally found my answer. Since then, I have never thought about giving up my job. Now, Mr. Yamada and I like talking with each other. We enjoy our school life together. I have a wonderful friend at my school.
Today, I will talk about robots. Now, people use robots in their lives every day. I am interested in robots, so I studied about them through books and the internet last month to make this speech. I would like to tell you about my future dream. I want to be a robot scientist and make many kinds of robots. For example, I want to make a robot which does all the housework. I got this idea when I watched my father and mother. They work hard every day. They look very tired when they come home. If a robot does all the housework like cooking and cleaning, my father and mother will be happy. I hope my robots will make many people happy. Robots do many different things for us. For example, some robots work in factories. They make many things faster than humans. Some robots can work in dangerous places. Some robots go to space to do work that is difficult for people. Today, we cannot live without robots. Robot science is advancing each day. Scientists are working hard to develop new kinds of robots. Last week, I read about nanorobots in the newspaper. Have you ever heard about them? They can go into a human body, find a virus, and try to kill it. Nanorobots will save our lives in the future. Other wonderful robots are communication robots. They can talk and express their own feelings. They can also understand our feelings. For example, if we are happy, they will smile with us. If we are sad, they will say kind words to us and try to make us happy. I think they will become our friends and help us in many ways. As you can see, robots are very useful to us. I think they will make our lives better in the future. But the other day, I saw an interesting TV program with my family. There will be more and more jobs robots can do better than people. My father and I say that it's a good thing. My mother and my brother say that it's not good for us. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? What do you think? Let's talk about it together.
Can you answer this question? What are the machines many people use to go to some places? Some people use them to go to school. Some people use them to go shopping. When you use them, you will get to these places faster than walking. Each of them has 2 wheels. You use pedals to move forward. Can you guess what they are? Maybe you are right. They are bikes. Bikes are one of the most popular machines that people use when they want to go to some places fast, especially in cities and towns. A lot of people ride bikes in their everyday lives. Bikes were first made about 200 years ago. Then they were improved very quickly. Let's think about the history of bikes. In 1813, a man in Germany made a machine with 2 wheels. People say that this was the first bike. It had no pedals, so he had to kick the ground to go forward. This kind of bike became popular among rich people. They enjoyed playing with such a bike. In 1860s, a new bike appeared in England. It had pedals on the front wheel. It was easier to go forward on such bikes. Then, people hoped to ride bikes which could go faster. They made the front wheels bigger than the wheels of older bikes. Some bikes were very tall with front wheels of 1.5 meters, so riding such a bike was difficult and dangerous. At the end of the 19th century, there was a big change in bikes. Chains were put on bikes to turn the back wheels. Soon, rubber tubes were used on wheels, so people were able to ride bikes easily. After that, other parts such as baskets and lights were put on them. Bikes became more and more useful, and a lot of people began to use them. Today, ESD has become very important. ESD tells us what to do now. We should take care of the earth for the next generation. Bikes are a good example of ESD. Bikes are good for the environment because we do not need any fuel to ride them. In addition, if we often ride bikes, it is good for our health. Let's think of these good points of bikes and use them more. And of course, be careful when you ride a bike on the roads. Tomoko likes English very much. She can speak English very well. Her father can also speak English very well because he is an English teacher. She wants to be like her father. One day, Tomoko went shopping in Mito with her father. At Mito Station, she saw two foreign people. They were speaking English and looking at a map. She said to them, "Hello, can I help you?" One of them looked at Tomoko and said, "Yes, please. Could you tell us how to get to Kairakuen? We hear it is a very beautiful park." "Take a bus at the bus stop over there," answered Tomoko. "Thank you very much," they said, and smiled. "You're welcome," Tomoko said, and felt great. "Any other questions?" she continued. The other person said, "Do you know who made Kairakuen? When was it made?" Tomoko understood his English, but she could not answer his questions. Then Tomoko's father helped her and answered him in English. Tomoko's father and the two foreign people enjoyed talking about the history of Kairakuen. She felt very sad because she did not know anything about its history and she could not join them. When they came home, Tomoko's father asked her, "What's wrong? You look very sad." She said to him, "I think I can speak English, but I couldn't tell them about my own town." Her father said, "I have something to show you. Come with me." In his room, she found a lot of books about English and foreign cultures. But there were also many books about Japanese culture, tradition, and history. Tomoko asked her father, "Did you read all of these books?" Her father answered, "Yes, of course. Now you know why I could answer the questions about the history of Kairakuen." Her father continued, "It is very important for us to study English, because English is a language used around the world, but it is also important for us to learn about our own country. Japan is our own country. It is a country we can be proud of." Tomoko said, "I have wanted to speak English very well like you. But now I want to tell people from abroad about Japan in English like you." Tomoko decided to study English harder and learn more about Japan.